So I think this full face balaclava looks kind of cool. So I thought I would stream in this attire just for the time being, yeah. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but the sentiment out there has been trash. Oh my god. A few negative tweets here and then all of a sudden everyone's jumping ship. As you can tell, my nose is a little bit stuffed and this isn't exactly helping my breathing, but we'll continue on. Now, we have a look here. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but maybe, just maybe, sometimes, freedom of speech, yes, is good, but at the same time, if you're openly speaking into things that are actively tracking and tracing you, maybe it's not the best thing. I don't know. I remember someone saying like they felt like if you type things into this, then maybe it could be not used against you later on, but it could be, held as a record of some sort and stored and, you know, given over to you as your particular, what's it called? Hang on, I'll be right back, people. Oh my god. My nose is like running in. That's disgusting. Right? You can see the light reflection. Oh my god. We'll pan that. Now, where was I? Oh yes, that's right. So cryptocurrency, people. Now, just remember everything you do is on the blockchain, right? And just like you do, maybe you use AI, that too looks like to be like it's going to be stored on some sort of ledger somewhere forever. Let's have a look. It says private prompts, once thought empirical, could now live forever. Thanks for demands for the New York Times. Okay. Long story short, you might want to have a look at this particular article here. It says here, uh, AI said, requirement to would create a substantial burden and basically on its operations and could compel the company to act against its own privacy commitments. If the court doesn't reverse this course, ChatGPT users may have to assume that every interaction is now being saved permanently. So if something, tied to you, it's probably worth knowing. Like you kind of want to protect your own privacy where you can and not get doxxed too hard. But at the same time, you kind of want to make sure that what you're even thinking about is not being compiled against you. You've all seen or you've heard about things like when you're searching on Google, for example, you have your profile, and every now and then just search up some random shit, and it might throw out the algorithm because it could be literally tracing you. Um, yeah. Thank you for tuning in, whoever is watching. I thought I would do a little bit of a mini stream because apparently sentiment is at all-time low. So too is the price of Pulsechain. So let's have a look at the price because that's probably why you're here. Because as I've noticed, we all tend to do, we tend to talk to the people who already have Pulsechain. So I thought, why not? Why not do the exact same thing over and over again and expect a different result? Apparently, this is what's been taking place. Now, I did see some tweets coming from the founder who I, have tied up in the basement, hence the balaclava. And I'm slowly wrench attacking him and trying to get the seed phrases for the sacrifice address. Once I do, I guarantee I'll tell you what, between me and you two people who are watching, I'll make sure mad god candles are on Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Ink and HEX, because that's the only way I think it's going to happen. I'm kidding, of course. But So where was I? I'll just see if there is anyone in the chat. No, there's not. All right, cool. So the price of Pulse is doing awfully. PulseX also awfully. INC awfully, and HEX on Pulsechain also terrible. Now, I know this is, why would you fudge your own bags? It's like, well, because I did not intend on my life savings to exist on blockchain intentionally. Like it's not me for this to happen. And seeing the price as low as it is, I just feel bad for those people who bought at the top, waited for years and years and years, and then now I'm not so sure what they're doing with the bonus addition of no yield on Hex and no yield in the farms. It's wonderful. Now, I'm sure a lot of people aren't overly impressed with this. Hence, that's why we have Mr. Hart in the basement. And the new viewer, I'm just informing you, we're slowly wrench attacking him to try and get him to purchase some more Pulsechain, PulseX, and INC and Hex, because that's probably the only way we're going to see all-time highs. Unless, of course, we see some, I don't know what, because at the moment, I haven't been looking at cryptocurrency. It's been about 16 days or so once we clocked over 2000s. And I'm really wondering, like, am I buying more of this stuff? It just keeps going down. Like, if you were anyone with half a brain and you're like going, if I bought here and here and here and here and here, my dollar cost average would be like here, which is still really bad. The only potential saving point is now. Thank you for joining me, whoever this is. I don't know if you're clicking out, clicking back in. Just to inform you, we're slowly wrench attacking Richard Hart, and hopefully, we're going to get these seed phrases out of it for the sacrifice address if he holds them, because I'm not so sure he does. And then we shall do mad God candle purchases. Now, of course, I'm kidding. Please don't freak out, people. But again, how much worse can it really get? Have a look at the price. Everyone's just dumping to infinity. Everyone's missing. No one's streaming anymore. Well, they probably are, but I've unsubscribed. I'm sorry. Only because it has become damaging for my mental health. Because the sudden wealth syndrome, after 5 and a bit years, is not so sudden anymore. And when it's not sudden wealth syndrome, it's more like mentally deranged syndrome. And it's just sad to see, like I said, many people who have, I don't know, I hope people didn't take all their money and purchase, like take it from their house and invest in all-time highs, hoping for further all-time highs, because, man, that shit is not happening right now, as we can see with the prices. Now, moving on. Some more funny things. Now, I don't know who's doing this, but this is actually, I kind of enjoy this. I'm not sure who's going to reach, but can you imagine you're scrolling through, if you listen to ASMR or something like that, and then you see this. I don't know if the audio is going to. Oh, you got to see this, guys.
Have you heard of the best coin?
If you're into the
it has the greenest logo and only real. Have you heard of the best coin? Ink. It has the greenest logo and only real Chads hold it.
It's probably AI as well.
I bought HEX, but now I want the biggest, greenest logo. Where are all my ink lovers?
Have you heard of?
Okay, so that was kind of fun. I gotta admit, that's some pretty good. I don't know if you call that outrage marketing or what that is, but for someone who appreciates a female specimen, I think it's good. Now, moving on, we should have a look at the markets of cryptocurrency as a whole. There is not a lot happening, people. Oh my god, it's been so boring. I've seriously been working more because shit is getting so bad. Shit is just not moving. It's just constant sideways. And you can have a look at some other meme coins and stuff, but there is just nothing. Now, usually I segue here and say, oh, but by the way, Pulsechain is doing great. And PulseX, and no, it's not. Everything is just crap at the moment. But if you happen to have a little bit of it, maybe, just maybe, if you hold long enough, you might be able to have a look, and history may repeat itself, just like Ethereum did with something like Pulsechain, and maybe, just maybe, some new all-time highs on it. And we've heard all this before. and hold and wait and hold and wait. But I just hope you're not holding, waiting, and dumping on the market, because if you are doing that, oh my god, this is the reason why, people. This is the reason why. Again, not people who are hearing this are probably already in Pulsechain, I imagine. And for whatever reason, no one seems to talk about it anymore. It's all about the latest, greatest thing that's going to pump the backs and just destroy the price of Pulsechain. Oh my god. Well done. I'm going to pat myself on the back, because I could say, well, it's partly my fault because I just let all this slide, just let all these people talk about this garbage, you know. Well, I'm going to admit, though, people tried, and you all failed miserably. I mean, myself included. I should just sold that top and just kept selling. I could have bought right now for the best price ever. If this is the all-time, if this is the all-time low, right? Now, I don't think it is, because I just feel as if there's more people who are going to sell more, as they always do. I've been putting some tweets out thinking maybe I'm not going to purchase anymore, but I was thinking maybe I might purchase just a little bit more. I don't know when, though, because like I said, I'm just focusing on getting some dirty fiat right now, because having fiat is better than not having fiat, in my opinion. And what else? Yeah, like I said, there is just not much happening. I mean, I saw some riot shit going on in the US, and they're saying it looks mostly peaceful, while there's like patrol cars being blown off. I'm like, dude, that shit is not peaceful. What is going on over there? They're flying the Mexican flags. Oh my god! And then they're saying people are like, it's like I'm like, okay, you guys need to chill. Everyone needs to chill. Stop destroying shit. And yeah, follow the laws. Stop destroying shit, and just chill and buy your crypto. Just sit in your house and buy crypto. I don't know, people. Now let's have a look. News-wise, there is what? ICP protocol. We got some XRP by 2050 they're talking about. Something about trades, something about people embracing crypto. What else? I haven't really seen much that would excite any people in Pulsechain, I would imagine. Like I said, everything's pretty flat, in my opinion. We're going to see later on Q4. What is it? June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 6 months' time. So, well, how about this? Give yourself. Let's do the 90-day challenge, right? If you all out there can work for 90 days, well, 90 days total, and earn an amount of money in 90 days, and then you'll be a lot happier than you were 90 days ago, in my honest opinion. Now, I'm not saying then go and buy cryptocurrency with it, but if you do that, maybe you can just pay off some of your goddamn debts or do something, people. Because whatever you've previously been doing, it seems like people have just been taking their money, minting their shit, dumping HEX, dumping Pulsechain, I don't know, farming the shit. It's just been all price negative. So I'm not sure how we can get out of this little rut we're in right now. Sentiment is just absolutely dog shit right now. And what else? I think we're kind of near a low, people. And now here's the fun part: delayed gratification. If you can hang around for 2 more years, and then we can see what the prices are going to do. Because a lot of people, I don't know if you guys or girls are familiar with this time locking mechanism, but it's a real thing, right? And so you might want to stick around and like play out the whole duration of your HEX stakes, because it might be worth it, in my opinion. But like I said, I was a dumb I went over and bought some HEX. Everything died, and I've just been in shock and awe, going, I should have just fucking sold. I have no idea why I'm still here. It's quite hilarious to see the community crash and crumble around us. It's quite unfortunate. Now, like I said, there's other people, other things going on, I can imagine, whatever. There was this kind of funny I was talking about INC now. That's actually worth a look. I mean, to me, that's funny. I'm not sure, though, if we're going to get eyes on this. Now, I'm not sure how we can even get eyes beyond the current community, because most people outside the community here, Pulsechain, HEX, PulseX, they're just not interested. I have no idea why. Now, I did look up a previous video of like what is Pulsechain. It was 3 years old. It was very well made, but the fact is, hang on, I'll be back, people. I'll be back. I shall be back. Be right back. Be right back. You probably saw that out. It is me, people. It is me, people. I'm not just. Don't worry, everything's fine. Everything's fine in HEX. Everything's fine in Pulsechain. Don't worry, people. Don't worry, same location, all good. We're all good. We got the e-girls. We got the all-time lows. We got the remnants of the Wooflu, whatever it is now, whatever it's evolved to, whatever it continues to evolve to. Of course, that was a joke. YouTube, please don't give me further strikes, or please, people, don't go through my shit and continuously give me strikes because you can. What else? Let's have a look. Yeah, so recapping. If you are using OpenAI, ChatGPT, I'm not so sure about Grok, but kind of interesting that they would want to make you someone keep everything. I don't know. It just doesn't sit right knowing that there could be a big giant file on you and everything you've ever looked at on the internet and everything you've looked at on, like, connected to your blockchain, connected to your research or whatever, you know. Oh, I don't know, man. Like, dystopian nightmare is getting ever closer, isn't it, people? What else? Like, seriously, there is like literally nothing to talk about. We can talk about how this is just very concerning. Even if you're doing nothing wrong, especially if you're doing nothing wrong, why should your data be kept? It shouldn't be. I mean, legally, lawfully, like, why should a big giant computer be hoovering up all this information about you and what you're looking up? I don't think it's a good idea. And moving on from that, we touched on Pulsechain, why it's just, I don't know, it's flatlining. It's hasn't got a very strong pulse. There's no incentive to even talk about it. There's no incentive to even tell other people about it. Like, I, as a huge advocate of this chain, am extremely, like, struggling to come up with positives right now, other than telling myself, convincing myself to DCA in, and then what? Whilst everything has done an absolute tear, if we have a look at, so if you had let's break this down. Now, this is going to be hard to chew, people. If you had one Bitcoin and held, and you got your ladder and it ended the same amount, the free amount that you would have claimed, or if you took one Bitcoin, turned it to Ethereum, put it to AA, staked it until this day, though, mind you, till this day, I'm not so sure your return on investment would have been positive. So that, is a logical thing to point out, that if you had a Bitcoin and that just sucks to say. And then even if you locked in and sacrificed all-time highs, you're still down in terms of actual value. Man. But remember, you had the option to take your gains and buy your Bitcoin back at the low prices. Oh, it's awful. This is just a nightmare. Now, what else did I talk about? Fund my bags a bit harder? Or should I look at the wonderful price of Pulsechain, PulseX, INC, and HEX? Or, I mean, this is the gem of the day that I was able to find. I'll give that a retweet. Not sure it's actually going to make price go up. And then crypto news. Crypto is just so boring right now. And it's hilarious because I've stopped watching all news. and I've stopped watching all media outlet basically. And life's what you really is what you make it. Like this crypto shit is just a small fraction of it. Like I thought people were going to get super rich and then create a wonderful new life, and then people did that, and everyone wins because they all got rich. It's like you can't win, and so now I feel like it's my duty to help everyone else become like a multi-millionaire and try and pump the bags of all this shit with little to no help from anyone. Little to no help from anyone. No one fucking cares. No one even knows who I am on the internet, which is fine. And that's, but I'm some guy who sat here and watched everyone like give their money away the whole time. And I'm like, hang on. But then the thing is, then if they staked it though, they would have still, I don't know, they still couldn't have won because the sacrifices were not taking place. But I don't know, man. I don't know. But had they not have thrown their fucking money away to all these other sacrifices, shake my head thinking about how much was lost. And then could have come out, and then what? Then what? Price would have still gone down, just maybe not as hard, not as quick. I don't know. It's. I'm making these videos to look back on, and at the current point in time, things are not looking very good in the cryptocurrency space. Now, what else can we look at? We can look at this controversial hey by the raw egg nationalist. Reportedly, what do you guys reckon about this? Let's have an open discussion as to what we think is going on here with the LA riots. Let's have a look at the LA riots, hey, shall we? Well, for some reason it won't open. Why is it not opening? Bro, your link's broken. 18 minutes ago. All right. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Do I really want to look at this? Do I really want to look at these people? All right. We'll look at this. So with all your crypto shit, right? And how is that going for you and all your marketing? And if you're in the US, which I'm not, so this has no relevance to me at all, except for being someone who watches this sort of stuff and kind of finds it interesting that it is out there, the information, but yet people refuse to either acknowledge it, or they refuse to recognize it exists, or they know it's there and they intentionally ignore it. You know, because it's good to get both sides of the story. Like, if you get someone who's telling you, like, till they're blue in the face, that Pulsechain is the best cryptocurrency right now, and Pulsex and INC and HEX is the best thing you can buy, right? And it has the highest price and is going to go up the hardest. I'm not sure you can get through to that person because they refuse to face reality. And clearly, they've always got, maybe they've got big fat bags of it. They don't really care. Or they just, truly think that, which if they truly think that, that's amazing, right? But logically, you got to really reassess some of this shit and think, well, now is a good time, yes, to buy because it's all-time low. But if you've experienced mad pain for the last fucking 5 years, you might be very hesitant to touch this shit with a 2,000 foot pole, right? Now, if you're new here, I think there's a couple of new viewers. I'm not sure if you're clicking through though. We got the e-girls. Yes, that's kind of funny. Crypto news is super boring. To me, I find this interesting. Now, I'm trying to get to the right nationalist, but I just know YouTube's going to get shitty with this. But YouTube, this is just me analyzing some articles. So please let me do this. Otherwise, if there's some people out there who are real trolls, report this to YouTube and just have the channel taken down. And I'll be very upset, but it's backed up on honesty. And it doesn't matter if it does eventually get closed, it will go to trouble. And it will still exist on Twitter, so Twitter's okay. But, so there is, reportedly, it says here, China is using deadly opioid fentanyl to kneecap the US and take out generations of young men and women. In the US, the FBI director, Kash Patel, has said. So that's pretty interesting. Now, this is not just me making this shit up. This is just me watching this over the years. And I don't know if you guys remember the, what was the opium wars? In some countries, basically flooded certain other countries with opium to kneecap them. So the same sort of thing could be happening, I guess, to countries like the US. Now, that might kind of suck if you're there and if you're getting addicted to this shit, and that's not what you want. If you've got kids, you don't want your kids addicted to that. That's disgusting. You need to maybe know about this and then decide maybe I should look into what's going on. Excuse me. Now, while my nose continues to run, I've been a little under the weather lately, people. Hence the face warmer. Now, there's a lot of deaths, on the rise. It's like, where is it coming from? So Patel said that this is interesting. Like, it's not that they're making huge amounts of money from this, but rather it's more just to fuck with the other people. So imagine, let's just take a step back. Imagine you're a troll with great hatred for Pulsechain, Pulsechain, INC, or HEX, and you just want to fuck with it, and you would just dump the shit out of it because you hate it with a passion, and you happen to get a lot of it. I don't know. Things like that could be taking place in the Hexagon. I'm not saying it is. I have no proof of it, but I just don't feel as if people are acting with the same goals, which is fine because people want to make money, right? Again, this is how my Bloomberg conspiracy brain works. But if you think about it, right, you have a country trying to mess with the other country. So what does it do? It does things that aren't overly profitable, but the benefits for the country doing it far outweigh not doing it. So that's the sort of thing I find fascinating. So if you go in, you can have a look as to why it is, maybe. But yeah, and so it's good that the American people will not have kids dying of fentanyl overdoses in the streets, in the US streets. Again, please keep that shit far, far away from Australia. I'm pretty sure we're okay here because it's pretty hard for them to ship that shit over here, I would say. Now, it does say we have a massive operation going around the world. But yeah. So next, so I find that interesting how, if people look at even something small like Pulsechain, and then you compare that to something large like, countries going against each other, and you could compare what one country would do and why they would do it, and so too you could compare what one player could do in the cryptocurrency space versus another player in the cryptocurrency space and why they would do it. Maybe they want price to go up, maybe they want price to go down, maybe they want it to be a failure, maybe they don't want it to never leave the ground. Who knows? Maybe they got some other ulterior motive which I haven't even thought about yet. But when you look at it from a country versus country, this sort of stuff is actually happening, and it's very interesting, and it's probably better you know about than not. Let's have a look. So the next one is, where was it? That only just came out, that one recently. So breaking as of a few minutes ago. This one here. Now this one is, I'm again not anywhere near these countries. It doesn't really faze me too hard, but I'm watching, and I think about 6 hours ago, all this footage was cropping up of these police cars being burnt to a crisp, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why would a news reporter come out and say that reportedly this is quite peaceful? It's like, dude, this shit is not peaceful, and there's a whole lot of I'm assuming that police cars being burnt down, and in the country that it's not happening, there's opposing countries, their flags being flown. I'm like, that just makes no sense, man. So I don't know what political angle people would play at, but from a logical point of view, you would say that these people don't look overly happy to be where they are because apparently they want to be, kicked out back to where they came from because they arrived illegally. Now, I'm pretty sure illegally is the key word here, because if they were there legally and lawfully, not illegally, then there would be no issues. Correct? Am I wrong? Or am I right? I'm pretty sure I'm right. Now, yeah, people could go into a whole lot more depth about. You could go deep into that topic. With But you can do the same thing for every other country that's ever taken place. The Command and Conquer, Age of Empire type shit, where history played out the way it did, and when you look back at it, it's been a savage history. We're a pretty savage species. Like, look at us. We go around conquering other countries, and to the winners goes the history of how it all played out, right? Pretty much. And then to the losers, whether wrongfully or rightly so, it's pretty hard to rewrite history to tell your version of how it went down if you lost that particular battle. Like, that's pretty messed up. Like, God forbid you'd be on the losing side, but oof. To try and bring that back and be like, bro, this is like current day how it is because my relatives from like 10 generations ago had to go through this is pretty. It's kind of like saying Pulsechain is going to recover like very soon. It's pretty hard to understand the logic. It's like, why is that going to recover soon? Tell me why. And then you hear because it's a brilliant, and I'm like, nah, just you got to give me something more. I need logic. I need something sustenance. I don't need mind-numbing. Mind-numbing feel-good rhetoric. Although it's fun to hang out with your buddies, there's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to logic, I don't want to hear that shit. I want facts. I want to know why. And the fact is, price down. Why? I'm not so sure. Is it because there's some nefarious characters in the space just trying to dump for infinity on all of us? I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? We do know that there is extremely low liquidity because recently there was moves in OA removing a lot of, the yield for the staking of HEX, that is. The ladder's out. So someone has some faith there. Something has some faith there. LP was encouraged to be removed because the yield was so low in terms of INC generation per second, which, of course, if people continue to just dump perpetually, it will make the price move in a certain way harder. Once they run out of things to dump, if they ever run out, because, like, mind you, they may never run out, then we could see the reverse take place. Prices go up really hard, but until that takes place, I really need to understand why the price is what it is now. Back to where I was. Now, I kind of went on a little tangent there, little rant. I don't know what the fuck. A little, eventing. And we do see here that basically, so look. Yeah, that's my take on it, man. Like, people, that is my take on what is going on. Do I care? Honestly, not so much. It's really far away. But if that shit starts happening here in Australia, oh my God, please don't. You'll just ruin the goddamn country. And I don't see how it would happen. Like, what? Like, people would come here by boat and then I'd be upset because they came here by boat and people told them they had to leave. So instead of leaving, they're like, well, we're going to burn shit. You're like, well, why did you come here? To burn shit? So, well, can you not burn shit here? Otherwise, we'll kick you out. And it's like, no, I'll continue to burn shit. I'm like, oh my God. Why do you think the world is like it is? That sort of shit, Now, we have do you really want to look at this? 800 electric cars. Fuel is thrown on a cargo ship. Oh, that's some good advertising for global, making the planet cleaner? How these shit burns? Oh my God, that's just wrecked. Now, lithium ion batteries. Hang on, oh my God, my nose is so blocked. Oh, people, I've been so sick. So sick. I actually haven't been that sick, but when I see the prices, it just makes me more sick. It just frustrates me. And knowing there's a big community of us and how wrecked we all are, like we're all in this together, people. But there's only so much we can take. We can only take so much. We're told so many times that price is going up and to the right forever, and then, until it doesn't, it goes down and down and down and down. And then, anyway, I'll get into it. Now, marketing. Marketing. Are we really going to talk about marketing? Who's doing this marketing, huh? Am I doing it? Because I'm not doing shit. I have no expectations of you or anyone else watching, and you should have no expectations of me, right? I don't know where this community driven thing is. I'm not doing anything, but you do it. It's like, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Let's just review this very carefully, mind you, because we will remember there are some pretty cool people who did some pretty cool things and made HEX, Pulsechain, Pulsechain very clear legally standing. So I don't want to mess with any of that shit. But just saying, bro, just saying, when we raised money for a organization, you might want to check who was making their claims against the taxes, right? Because if you say that you raised X amount for charity, you made it possible, right? Which is good. But the money wasn't yours. You know what I'm saying? It's very clever. It's a very clever play of words. I like it. But you gotta be careful. And HEX did a 10,000x, right? It did do a 10,000x. But the current price is not 10,000x. And from the lows, right? From the lows, it could very well do another 10,000x if we go down another 10,000x from here, mind you. You see what I'm saying? It's very, I don't know how I feel about that now looking at it, but only mind you, this because I'm butthurt crying live on stream because the price is, let's double check the price. Let's check the price. Mind you, I'm a staunch, I liked the Hexicans strongly, and I agreed with some things. I especially agreed with the sacrifices, which had freedom of speech involved. That was really cool. The charity thing was amazing. What HEX did was absolutely insane. I'll never forget it. The cool chats was very cool. Don't get me wrong. But looking back, memories only last so long before they fade, right? And I'm not having so many good new memories. You know what I'm saying? And I want some green. I want some green candles. I sound like a fucking spoiled brat. I'm so grateful for the shit that I've got. I got to admit, but I just wish it was up more because I know there's a whole lot of people hurting out there, and it's just not fair. I wish I could help other people. I was lucky enough to be charitable, a recipient of a charitable gift, and that fucking saved me so bad. Not saved me so bad, but it was just it was literally like a godsend. I'm like, oh my god, this makes my week so much better. Instead of having to endure all this. Well, it's not too bad. I don't mind. Anyway, I may have to go back to the Uber challenge, get some debts sorted out, get that all paid. Then I'll probably do some purchases. Maybe I'll use some of the new front ends, not to be too negative, because I feel like I was going a bit off course there, going a bit savage, but it had to be said, right? You guys know this, but no one talks about it. You say you fudge your bags, nah, fuck that. Listen, logic, facts. Truth wins always, no matter what. Truth always fucking wins, and that is why Pulsechain. That is why Pulsechain itself was truthful, because it was not doing whatever the fuck SEC was saying, right? Go back and check that shit. That's why it won. It actually won. So for all the negativity, there's positivity out there, right? Don't get me wrong. Now, what was I? It's just looking at these prices. It's just fucking depressing. Oh my god. It's like, well, don't sell them. It's like, well, I've been the one not selling for all these fucking years. And I know who's been selling or who's been taking all these mad profits. Congratulations, yes. But at some point in time, I do wish to make some profit on this thing. And I just don't know when. Am I just going to cry forever because I didn't take profits at the all-time high when the stakes were ending? And look back on the bloody, you go into your stake ladders, you can see the fucking date. It's and the price of it on the day, oh my god. But On the flip side, if that ever goes to dollars, you might look back and go, oh my God, look how much it was worth. I could have taken it then. I didn't. Thank God I didn't. We shall see. We shall see. All right. It's getting late. I'm going to go to bed, people. I'm just tired. Tired of this shit. Oh, man. All right. Thank you for whoever's in here watching this. Like I said, I haven't got any new secret, amazing information. Richie's not really in the basement getting wrench attacked. And, you know, what was I saying? Yeah. He's not getting wrench attacked. I mean, nothing new to say. I can't help but apply my logic to some things in the cryptocurrency space. And if you disagree, please convince me otherwise, because I'm yet to see strong arguments as to why Pulsechain is going to melt faces currently in this current economic environment. However, like my argument is if Bitcoin, Ethereum does some really large numbers in Q4 of this year, we may see some of that money flow back into Pulsechain, potentially into Pulsechain, INC, HEX with low liquidity, and that may potentially push the price up insanely. At the same time, there'll be an insane amount of sell pressure because I will most likely tell you when I'm taking just a small, tiny fraction out. Maybe, just maybe. But if that does take place, like I said, you may want to stay tuned for fucking HEX, Pulsechain, Pulsex, INC. The story is far from over. As far as I'm concerned, this is almost, it feels like the chapter 1 has ended. And it's in a really bad position. It is like, yeah, everyone's gone, everyone's wrecked, price is down. Although the battle was won, the war has not been completely won. I'm not even sure if it's for cryptocurrency anymore, because I feel like every other cryptocurrency is just at our throats trying to kill us. I was like, hang on, bro. Well, are we all in this together? I was like, no. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on anymore. But it appears as if, you know, Pulsexicans, whoever's left in Hexaco, whatever's left is kind of by ourselves, and we're like surrounded by all sides, right? And that's the end of chapter 1. Price is destroyed. Price is absolutely hammered. And although the founder won and won some absolutely amazing battles, no one seems to care about it. No one seems to talk about it. It's been glossed over. The founder himself is being sort of swept under the rug into obscurity. No one seems to want to talk about it too much. So I did see some legal, some legal content. I think Viva Fry had a really good article about it. That was good to watch from that point of view. But beyond that, I haven't seen too much traction. It's been really such a waste, you know. I would have thought that would have been a huge marketing thing. Like, wow, look at this shit. But no. Instead, you got some guy in a ski mask sitting in his office crying about the price of Pulsechain and pointing out that, you know, in closing, pointing out that, did you know OpenAI may be saving everything about you? So when I say, you know, you're being tracked to trace, I'm not kidding. Like, it's fucking real. Price of cryptocurrency has been performing okay. Ethereum not so much. Bitcoin's done okay, but unfortunately, my beloved Pulsechain, Pulsex, INC, and HEX has not done the same. I have seen this. This is probably the highlight of the night. With Egos talking about INC. It's kind of funny if you like INC, or just if it's AI or how it's been done. If that's a real person, then congratulations. And crypto news itself is extremely boring. Oh my God. Like, let's have a look at CoinDesk, okay? Crypto has become what, a lagging indicator or a leading indicator of normal economics. So Crypto Daybook, America's Bitcoin options point to gains as bullish flows builds ahead of CPI data. This sounds like CNBC or some shit, like the money markets. Like, this is crypto now, right? Okay. So because crypto's doing this, it means inflation's doing this, it means inflation's doing that, because Trump's doing this, and the economy's doing that. So this is like, is this what Satoshi and like Vitalik and Rich want us to look at, like this shit? So I thought that people were gonna build crypto and like change the world, become utopian, become millionaires, multi-millionaires, billionaires. And what we got instead crypto table. What the fuck? ETH surges. Now I'm gonna stand up here and talk all professional, then put a suit and tie on. And there's crypto, right? It's like, hang on, bro. I can't even breathe right now. Let's have a look. ETH surges as spot ETF inflows hit 50-day streak. Traders watch 5-4. This is option shit, man. What the fuck? I guess so. I guess this matters. I guess so. Oh my god, my nose is like killing me here, people. My nose is so blocked. I'm already nasally enough. Don't need to have blocked sinuses. All right, I'm back. Now, it's just some boring ass shit. I mean, that was pretty interesting to see Dex is back online after the hack, and what'd they do? And they paused the fucking network. Like, that's not decentralized. Pools have been restored? What the fuck? So what'd they do? Oh, this is completely decentralized, but if shit breaks, we will pause the chain, we'll stop everything and roll it back and make sure like it never happened. But that could never happen. It's like, wait, what did you just say? Say that again. So you just rolled back the chain, but you said it's decentralized. Bro, what is that? All right, so they recovered. Okay. Well, again, maybe just double check. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just kind of like making a joke about that. It was very serious, lots of money, bad. I'm just pointing out that I think my personal opinion is not financial bias, legal bias, whatever. But I think is that it sounds like to me, I could be wrong, that they did some sort of equivalent of rolling back the chain to recover any money. But let's have actually look what happened. Let's have a look. An outage, 17-day outage, bro. This is big. This is crypto, man. We got 17-day outage. He's bad as a bank. God damn. And they didn't respond. Request to negotiate. So he stepped in. Issuing a loan. Okay. So we're talking about it wrong. Citizen journalists get it wrong too. You've got to read this shit before you just start flapping our lips. The attacker exploited a flaw in Cetus shared math library contract, tricking the protocol into believing one token was worth $1 million. Oh my god! No one. What the fuck? Oh my god! How did that fucking get through? How did no one pick that? So that's please be patched over on Pulsechain. Oh my god, Ethereum, please, I don't want to see this shit. I swear it's like a dev trolling or some shit. Like, I'll just leave this exploit in. No one will know until I actually run it. Meanwhile, some coder in fucking Pakistan just like run away with all these funds. Run it through Tornado Cash. And I don't know. I'm just saying, like, there's lots of coders in there. Okay, anyway, now what do we got? All right, so that was a good laugh. That was good. What else? We got that. Again, if you're new here, we're just looking at how wonderful Pulsechain is doing and how you should just keep buying this shit while it's on an infinite death spiral. Like I said, that is not what I'm saying. I'm saying the opposite of that. It's unfortunate. I don't know how, unless someone can come up with a reason why I need to buy this, I just really can't understand why I'm going to be buying this right at this point in time. Because if lower lows are coming, I want to scoop them up. But do I really want to even touch this anymore? Oh my god, oh my god. A lot of people out there kept saying that, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy that dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. And they said, holy fuck, this thing dipped so hard, so fast, there is no money left for me to buy the goddamn dip, right? And now they've disappeared. And now it's like, and if they have disappeared, they're still saying that. Everyone's looking at them scratch take on. Hang on, you said maybe it's a good idea to buy some of this shit as it's dipping. And you said it wasn't going to keep, they didn't say you said, but you know what I'm saying? You kept talking like this shit's going to not stop dipping. And then it kept dipping. And I've been watching this shit the whole time. I've been here since the fucking all-time highs of HEX. Even earlier. And I'm like, dude, this is not cool, man. This is just not cool. So this is why we'll have a look at this here instead. What do we got? CoinDesk. All right, let's go back. And we shall look at one more, Cointelegraph, and I'll close this out. Again, thank you for bothering to watch this. You probably have no interest in this content. Please evacuate now because I have nothing new to say. Price of Pulsechain is down, Pulsechain is down, INC down, HEX is down. I am yet to hear a strong argument as to why we are going to recover, except for a wrench attack on SAC Addy to force it to buy any of it, which I don't think is happening because I'm starting to think SAC Addy is just some it's like the burn address basically, and or B, so A, how that's one way it could potentially buy by hoping someone else pumps the bag after seeing what everyone does with it. I'm not sure why anyone would want to do that. And B, there's a mass, quote-unquote, mass 100th monkey theory kicking in, and everyone understands how wonderful Pulsechain is and jumps on the chain. We see a hive of activity. Everyone starts purchasing, at which point price goes parabolic, at which point the price goes through the roof and everyone can take profits without anyone else noticing or affecting the price too hard because everyone is so happy because everything is just going up and to the right forever, like a utopia. And that's going to be a very hard one. Or C, I'm not sure what C is. What, like, people just stop fucking selling for like a year? Stop selling for 90 days? How about that? That's just way too hard. That's way too fucking hard to ask that. Way too hard. And of course, people would say that, and their intention, they would then sell while no one else is selling. I'm saying literally, just fucking stop selling for 90 days, see what happens, people. Go to work. Get some money. Please. I'm begging you. They make me come through that screen. I doubt it would be the people watching that would actually. I'm just like, I doubt, anyway. Yeah, so you're for 100K becomes Bull's key level. Okay, cool. That's interesting to know. I mean, I couldn't figure that out myself. Coinbase says it's tackling frozen accounts in major issue. Well, that's not good. Let's have a look at this one. Unnecessary account restrictions. Yeah, well, where you have your money, you're subject to them. Let's have a look at this one. Okay, so said a major issue. It's been a problem, when you get your. I mean, if I got my account frozen, I'll be pretty pissed. We've reduced by 80%, which is good. More improvements coming, which is good. We'll keep you updated as further improvements roll out, which is good. What else? Okay, reporting sudden freezes and lasting for months or longer, prompting some to abandon the platform. So that would suck if that happened to you. You have all this money, go to use it, and then oh, by the way, we froze your shit. Sorry, bro. You'd be like, I'll just go back to looking at my options and how it's tracking against CPI and inflation. Yeah, it's like fuck. What? Anyway, some people go nuts when I say you should be paying taxes on this shit. That's bad enough. And I'm like, Anyway, extreme argument. You are talking about pony pictures and how to tax them. Extreme argument. But now the pony pictures have been integrated into fucking no. we are seeing fewer restrictions. So that means they were just randomly freezing shit erroneously. Erroneously. They admit that shit now. Oh, I don't know if I'll be saying that, Mr. Armstrong. Several months. Whew. All right, so I didn't know this. I heard it happening, but now we see an article, so you can go back and have a look at that. It's good they're looking at doing that. I'm not saying Coinbase is evil. Just like you wouldn't want to keep all your money on a fucking centralized exchange, which has admittedly erroneously blocked an account. So if you had $1 billion just sitting there, maybe that might not be the best place to put it. Yeah, maybe just maybe. Now, let's have a look. See this, I think here, mass data. So this is interesting. I hadn't seen this one. So this mass data deletion is a call to digital preservation action. So when administrators erase or quietly remove public data sets, it's not just bureaucratic housekeeping, it's a threat to transparency, accountability, and collective memory of society. Okay, so what's that saying? It's saying, let's stop pretending data just disappears. It doesn't. It's deleted, erased, buried, or often not done deliberately. So that actually goes well with this here, as I was talking about before, the OpenAI in order to save every chat, even the ones you delete. But that's, I don't know if that's you running the code there, but you know what I'm saying. Whereas this one's saying, we need to keep all that data. So blockchain isn't another very good argument. It's like, well, everything's on chain there forever. Now we have this here. Every time a new administrator seizes power, priorities are reshuffled, as expected, or unexpected, blah, blah, blah. Can only be seen. Now let's have a look at this. So this is kind of interesting stuff. I mean, if you're okay, so this is Harvard, so not too bad in terms of research, because I'm pretty sure they have a lot more researchers than I. They're probably a lot better than I am. Now, as health data disappear from government websites, experts push back. Okay. So it's not just any sort of data. It's funny that it's health. Okay, health data. Why would that be of? Okay. That's when you have if you ever went to any form of higher learning, you have to create a cite various reports. Let's play a game live on stream. Let's create a little story, shall we? Now, knowing that AI is ordered to save every chat. So you have an account linked to your email, linked to your Google account, linked to whatever, tied to you. If you're using it that way, or tied to an address, you're then searching that, and then it is then saved forever. Similar, or kind of similar to a blockchain. It's just forever there, unless people roll back the chain. Now, we're saying here that mass data deletion is a call for digital preservation. So we need digital preservation. So we need all that. So cryptocurrency, an article, although it may not fully see, it's hard to tie these two together though, but it may unknowingly be pointing out that we should never ever delete anything because it's bad, because it's a threat to transparency. And then it goes over to where it was actually in relation to health data disappearing from government websites. Now, it would be interesting to see what health data is, because if it's certain sets of data disappearing, it's like, why is that disappearing? If it's because of, and there's many thought trains you can go down with that path. Now, it kind of ties into the OpenAI story, but it's more the fact that one company is gathering data information about you and is like borderline being forced to keep it all, while other websites are deleting data. And it's like, well, why is one keeping it and the other one's deleting it? Then you find out one is actually about the individual, about the consumer. And then whilst the other one is actually a government website. Now, how strange that is. It's like, so there's one rule for the government, and yet there's another rule for individuals. So individuals must be tracked and traced for all at all times, whilst government can delete information as they will. As you can see, this is my brain developing its own story. Now, whether or not this is actually true, because these are 3 very different articles, it begs, you might have to look into that yourself. But we should have a look a little bit more. Trump administration directives to purge government websites for information related to certain topics, such as gender ideology. Okay, so people would say, "Oh, it's modern day book burning," but it's actually saying gender ideology, reproductive rights, and diversity result in this. Wow, that's interesting. So all this stuff, who was once very important, not to be sarcastic, but I don't think it actually was, is now being deleted, and no one cares. Is this what I'm understanding? Whereas if you're a website and individuals are using your data, like maybe to track and trace you, then it's okay to store everyone's data. Huh, fascinating. I must read more. Argue this purge will harm health in a number of ways, eliminating access to, that makes sense, because if the information is gone, it's gone. Let's have a look. So one instance, it's data being deleted from like sets of data for scientific purposes. Maybe not a good idea to delete that. Maybe. Whereas the other instance is companies gathering your data on you, what you do in your personal computer. Now you could argue, what if that's for scientific purposes? Well, I don't know if it is, man. I don't know. Well, let's have a look anyway. Too bad if that was your career path. You're like, I'm going to study this. Oh, by the way, we deleted all your shit. All right, let's have a look. That's very interesting. Well, see, it's always good if you find information that you find relevant to print out a copy so you can actually have access to that, because otherwise this shit could disappear on you. We could use maybe the time machine. I'm not so sure it would work though, because different maybe a different internet over there. Intranet, however they're storing it. Okay, well that's interesting. Okay, so then the article goes on to explain, it's similar to, denies, whatever, like I said. See, it's very hard if you're in power to get your version of events and what took place. I don't understand why they would delete it though. But then just point back and keep it and be like, look at this shit we're going through then. And it sucked. Unless it's like, it just sucks so bad we just had to delete it all. Maybe. As a rebellion. I don't know, man. Do not know. My gut says, my brain says, don't delete shit of this information that you should maybe keep for scientific purposes, because it goes to show you at what period of time they'll go through things like, where was it? Gender ideology. For whatever reason, even if it's not relevant anymore, maybe it's worth keeping so they can go back and like research. Back at this time, this was taking place and it was crap, or it was really good. Yeah, it's fascinating because, once it's gone, it is gone. What the fuck is this? Hang on. What is this here? One pegged stablecoin. What the fuck? A one pegged. Are you fucking kidding? All right, let's have a look at this. So, okay, so interesting. Maybe put some links. I don't know if you guys care about this stuff. I do find it kind of interesting. We have this here. Mass data deletion is called a digital preservation action. Okay, I can understand it now in the context of health data as opposed to open AI. So let's look at it from both points of view. I don't agree that OpenAI should keep every single chat that you ever fucking talked about, because maybe, just maybe, some of it could be personal, maybe, just maybe, many reasons. What else? Now, this one here, I guess this is relevant because this seems to be where cryptocurrency is going. K pledges 1 peg stablecoin. South Korean payment stocks rally. Oh my god, really? This is cryptocurrency? Oh my god, you hear my nose like speaking like a goddamn tap. This is kind of interesting. So, KI pledges 1 peg stablecoin as South Korean payment stocks rally. Kako-backed blockchain, that's interesting, if that's the one I'm thinking of, joined South Korea's stablecoin race as a tech giant's payment app. Surges 30% now. A stock on that shit? Okay. Layer 1 blockchain, KAIA, is pledged to launch South Korean one-based stablecoin. What the fuck? Yeah, but I don't know if that's. Oh, yeah, I guess it's cryptography. Yeah, okay, cryptography. But it's like one-based. I don't know, man. Is this crypto? One-based stablecoin. It's like USDC, but for like the Korean currency. Which could mean. Oh, but then see, that can lead to things like if they use this chat app and then they use the fucking one, then they have to register the chat app to an account to access the crypto, which involves KYC, which gives you your digital ID, which is basically already here. But there you go. There goes your anonymity. Fucking hell. But at the same time, it could be good, could be great, could pump the price of Pulsechain, for example. I don't think it will. But it could, if it's, most likely going to be allowed to be traded on some exchanges, maybe, I don't know. Oh my god. So that's how they're doing over there. Okay. Interesting. That's Kaka Paycorp. Pumped. Huh. Okay, so stable coins cleared for takeoff. Okay. So in South Korea. Okay. Let's have a look. Where's the crypto stuff? Okay. All right. Well, I don't know what I think about that one. We'll have to see how that develops because, again, it just sounds like more stablecoin sort of cryptocurrency as opposed to actual cryptocurrency, like Pulsechain or Bitcoin, I don't know, Ethereum, Solana, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, so that was what I was looking at there. Now, I think that's where I call it. We don't really want to look at the electric cars of Inferno. It's just good to know that there's all this smoke and pollution going into the planet. It's just so good to know. I just didn't know that. So we won't look at that. That's funny, that one there. We'll close on that and I will sign out. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Closing words is as such. Please stop selling the Pulsechain, PulseX, INC, and HEX for 90 days. Can